So this What's on My Switch game is pretty fun. Oh, this is by Blowfish. Okay, I actually recognize Blowfish a bit. Okay, I don't remember much of the games, but I do remember that I've enjoyed their games, if that makes any sense. Storm Boy lived it with Hideaway Tom, his father. Okay, so I can't move up or down. I can move left and right. Years before, when Storm Boy's mother had died, he left Adelaide and gone to live with like a hermit by the sea. The only other man who lived anywhere near them was Fingerbone Bill, the Aboriginal. At first, Hideaway was afraid that Storm Boy would get lost, and so Hideaway looked for a landmark. One day he found a big piece of timber lying with the driftwood on the beach. There, said Hideaway. Now you always have a lookout post. You'll be able to see it far up the beach, and you won't get lost. Some distance from the place where Hideaway and Fingerbone had built their humpies, the whole stretch of the Coorong and the land around it had been turned into a sanctuary. In the early morning, the tall birds stood up and clapped and cheered the rising sun. Storm Boy felt the excitement and wonder of it. He often sat on the shore all day with his knees up and his chin cupped in his hands. Sometimes he wished he'd been born an ibis or a pelican. His father's voice roused him, and he ran down to the beach to help dig up a bag full of big conkles for their own tea. Oh, okay. Interesting. I'm not gonna get 100 though. Look for bubbles. Okay, let's just go back. Yeah. Okay. Not gonna go through that tedious process. Can I just move on? When Storm Boy went walking along the beach or over the sandhills or in the sanctuary, the birds were not afraid. They knew he was a friend. Is that a penguin? Hello, Mrs. Penguin, said Storm Boy each day. How are your bits of thistledown today? Why is there a penguin on a freaking shore like this? Bro, penguins. Hold on. Gibbs, what gives? Sometimes Storm Boy saw things that made him sad. In spite of the warnings and notices, people hurt the birds. Bro, you better not be hurting my birds. One morning, Storm Boy found everything in uproar and confusion. He heard a faint rustling and crying, and there under the sticks and grass of the broken nest were 3 tiny pelicans, still alive. That third would be like, ah! Storm Boy picked them up carefully and hurried back with them. 2 of the baby pelicans were fairly strong, but the third was desperately sick. I wonder if it's the middle one. It was the 3 days before the baby pelican was well enough to sit up and ask for food. Oh, so that's what the middle one. He's like, feed me, boy! Okay, I don't even... That was how Mr. Proud, Mr. Ponder, and Mr. Percival came to live with Storm Boy. Storm Boy? Storm Boy. Greedy pelicans will just keep eating fish. Bruh, give him some fish. Oh, so... You don't... Okay, we're just gonna pretend I fed them because I'm not able to get that back one. At last, Hideaway spoke sternly to Stormboy. Mr. Proud, Ponder, and Percival will have to go back to the sanctuary where they came from. We just can't afford to feed them anymore. This is... Time for respectable pelicans to get their own breakfast, Hideaway grumbled, instead of begging from their friends, and as time went on, he really meant what he said. Stormboy was sad, but he always knew when his father had made up his mind. Yes, Dad, he said. Yo, this is getting sad. Hideaway sailed for 5 miles up the sanctuary before he stopped the boat. Off you go. Now you have to look after yourselves. Hideaway and Stormboy spent the day fishing. It was fine and sunny, but somehow it seemed cold. Mr. Percival has come back home. That's beautiful. Ever since the miracle of Percival's rescue, he had been Stormboy's favorite. Stormboy often had fun on the beach with Mr. Percival. What is... It is called Stormboy. Give her the... Okay. Hold on. Ha. Okay, hold on. Could I... Oh, hold on. I got this. I totally got this. Your boy got this, ladies and gents. I'm such an idiot. Moving on. Whenever you threw the ball or smooth pebble or a sea urchin or an old fishing reel, Mr. Percival snapped it back up and brought it back. Okay, Mr. Percival was cute. Fine, whatever. This is one of those experience games. If Stormboy went swimming or sliding down sand hills or playing on the sand, Mr. Percival found a good spot nearby and perched there heavily to watch and wait until it was over. I'm not even going to bother. I just want to... I kind of... One day, Hideaway was watching them play, and then he had an idea. If it can bring things back to you, perhaps he can carry things away, too. The year of the great storms. They began in May. Even start before the winter had started. In the darkness of early morning, Stormboy suddenly woke with Hideaway's voice in his ears. "It's a wreck," Hideaway said. "A wreck on the shore." "Look at them," Stormboy yelled. "We must help them. They'll be drowned." "How can we help?" said his father. "We can't throw a line. It's too far." Stormboy gave a great shout. "Mr. Percival. Mr. Percival is the one to do it. He can fly." Needs to fly over. Okay, so I just can't... So I gotta... Okay, I finally got it. I got it. Just gotta be careful and not fall off course here. Here. Stormboy, Hideaway, you've done it, you've done it! Stormboy, Hideaway, and Fingerbone shouted together as Mr. Percival landed on the beach. "You're a good, brave, clever pelican." Next. Alright. Stormboy. Between them, they all slowly hauled the captain ashore and dragged him, pale and half-drowned, onto the beach. "Saved," he kept saying weakly. "Saved by a miracle and a pelican." "You're a big, wonderful bird," he said. He looked up at Hideaway. "When he dies, you must send him to the museum. We'll put a label on the case. The pelican that saved 6 men's lives." Hideaway looked around quickly. He was glad Stormboy hadn't heard the captain's words. My heart. For the rest of the year, everyone was happy. The storms went back to the cold south, the sun warmed the sandhills, and spring ran over the countryside with new leaves and little bush buds. Before long, the open season for duck shooting came round again. Wait. Why is it saying about the duck shooting? From the start, Mr. Percival hated the shooters. He harried them whenever he could. Sometimes he just stared at them rudely until they grew impatient and chased him away. But most of all, he flew round and round their hiding places in wide circles like a cumbersome old aeroplane on patrol. I don't like where this is going, guys. But before long, the ducks understood Mr. Percival's warnings. The shooters grew angrier and angrier. No, don't. Don't do it. No. Nope. Hey, no. His voice was drowned by the roar of the gun. "In the world," Hideaway said sadly, "there will always be men who are cruel, just as there will always be men who are lazy or stupid or wise and kind. Today you've seen what cruel and stupid men can do." And at 9 o'clock, Mr. Percival died. What? This is... No. That's super not okay. Hold on, what am I supposed to do? Okay. Go to the post when you're ready to say goodbye. This is kind of sad. The bird is dead. Yeah. Yo, this is bumming me out, dude. Mr. Percival, you're the best friend I ever had. And always above them, in their mind's eye, they can see the shape of two big wings in the storm clouds. In the flying scud, two wings of white with trailing black edges spread across the sky. For birds like Mr. Percival do not really die. Well, this has been Storm Boy. The feels. Just them feels, bro. Them feels.